हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मधु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है। इन टुडेज वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज फ्रॉम द हिंदू एडिशन ऑफ 14th February 2023। सो सम ऑफ द न्यूज दे आर जस्ट न्यूज, बट मैं उसका डिटेल भी आपके साथ डिस्कस करूंगा कि ताकि क्लैट में जो पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आते हैं उसको आप काफी अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट कर सके। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, रिलेटेड टू JNK डिलिमिटेशन पैनल। The second issue which we are going to discuss is about Adani case. Center which has no objection to Supreme Court panel, but यहाँ पे central government and SEBI they want to forward the possible names for the panel. Okay, क्योंकि ये technical issue है, economy से related issue है. Okay, so we will discuss this issue. अभी तक इस issue में जो भी कुछ हुआ है अडानी केस में, we are going to discuss that also. Okay, then moving ahead, आज हम discuss करेंगे एक बहुत ही important program which is called as जल जीवन मिशन। उसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे। ओके, along with that we will be discussing about article 82 of the constitution and article 105 of the constitution. There is an editorial which is specifically related to article 105 of the constitution about the expunging this particular word or phrase which is spoken by the members of the parliament. Okay, so let's start the news. The first news is top court upholds constitution of J&K delimitation panel. Now the first important thing is जो आपको यहाँ पे समझना है कि ये delimitation panel होता क्या है। Okay, so let's go to the background. So friends, अगर हम देखेंगे our parliament, ठीक है, तो थोड़ा अगर बेसिक से इसको समझे तो पार्लियामेंट इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट, ठीक है, लोकसभा, राज्यसभा। राज्यसभा, ठीक है। प्रेसिडेंट जो है ही इज नॉट द ही और शी इज नॉट द मेंबर ऑफ लोकसभा और राज्यसभा, बट स्टिल इज पार्ट ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट। नाउ लोकसभा में जो है यहाँ पे जो मेंबर्स होते हैं दे आर डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड बाय द पीपल। ओके, एंड मेंबर्स ऑफ राज्यसभा दे आर इलेक्टेड बाय द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज ऑफ द स्टेट्स। ठीक है, इसीलिए हम लोकसभा को कहते हैं द हाउस ऑफ पीपल और राज्यसभा को हम कहते हैं द काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट्स। नाउ हाउ द मेंबर्स आर इलेक्टेड, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है अंडर आर्टिकल 82, आर्टिकल 82, तो आर्टिकल 82 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इट प्रोवाइड्स फॉर द डिलिमिटेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज। अगर आपसे अगर पूछा जाए कि जो डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन है तो कौन सा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का आर्टिकल उसके बारे में बात करता है, ठीक है ना। डायरेक्टली आर्टिकल 82 डज नॉट से एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन, but it talks about the constituencies, making of constituencies. Okay, and the power to decide that how the constituencies will be decided is given to the parliament. So under article 82 parliament has the power to pass the law for setting up the mechanism for delimiting the constituencies. Okay, so that is article 82. So article 82 के अंदर पार्लियामेंट को पावर है। so पार्लियामेंट जो है वो डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन एस्टेब्लिश करती है, डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन। ठीक है, तो अगर आपसे पूछा जाए कि विच कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन इज रिलेटेड विद डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन, देन इट इज आर्टिकल 82 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। सो जो डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन होता है इट डिलिमिट्स द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज बाउंड्री, इसको बाउंड्री कमीशन भी आप कह सकते हो। and the reports of the delimitation commission it cannot be called in the court. okay, बहुत ही हाई लेवल पावर कमीशन होता है ये। इसके जो रिपोर्ट्स होते हैं, इसका जो अवार्ड होता है, आउटकम होता है, वो कोर्ट में डिस्कस नहीं किया जाता, वो कोर्ट में उसको चैलेंज नहीं किया जा सकता। इन पास्ट द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन इट हैज बीन एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1952, 1963, ओके, 1973 एंड देन 2002। ठीक है, now in 2019, okay, J&K Reorganization Act was passed. J&K Reorganization Act, 2019 it was passed. Okay, so under Article 2 and 3 of the Constitution, the Parliament has the power to redraw the boundary of states, okay, or to make a new state or to change the boundary of any state. So it is under Article 2 and 3 that the Parliament was empowered to pass the J&K Reorganization Act 2019. It created two union territories. One is Jammu and Kashmir, one is Ladakh. So Jammu and Kashmir, it is a union territory with legislature. ठीक है, और Ladakh is the union territory with no legislature. ठीक है. Now since J&K has the legislature, so this act, J&K Reorganization Act 2019, it already provided for the delimitation of constituencies. Delimitation of constituencies in J&K. Okay friends, so यहाँ पे जो delimitation of constituencies which has already been provided under this act, so a commission was established, okay, which was headed by Ranjana Prakash, Justice Retired Ranjana Prakash Desai, Justice Retired Ranjana Prakash Desai. Okay, so it has delimited the constituencies for J&K. Fine. तो इसमें अगर आप देखेंगे, so 43 seats are for Jammu region, 47 seats are for Kashmir. So in effect the total strength of J&K legislature will be 90. So यहाँ पे 43 will be going for Jammu region, 47 will be going for Kashmir. Out of this 90 seats, 9 seats have been reserved for STs, 7 seats has been reserved from SCs, for SCs. Okay, when J&K was the state, okay, there was no seat reserved for scheduled tribe, but the delimitation commission for J&K has given has reserved 9 seats for scheduled tribes. Then it recommends that at least 2 seats, okay, and one out of this one it should be allocated for women. So 2 seats should be reserved for migrants of J&K. ठीक है, 2 seat. Then it says that the parliament should consider giving representation to people from POK, okay, that is displaced persons, people who have been displaced from Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Some reservations must be given to them. Okay, तो ये delimitation commission का पूरा award है. So this was challenged the Supreme Court, but Supreme Court has upheld the decisions of the J&K delimitation commission. Fine friends. Now coming back to the news, Adani case, center has no objection to Supreme Court panel. तो यहाँ पे the Union Government and Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is the regulator of the capital market, they have said that they have no objection to the Supreme Court constituting an expert committee to examine the existing regulatory regime and frameworks in the security markets to protect investors from share value meltdowns such as seen in the Adani Group triggered by US based short seller Hindenburg research report. ठीक है, so we know कि Adani, it was going to launch, it had launched actually the follow-on public offer of rupees 20,000 crore, which was called off later. SEBI, it is itself examining the sellout of this 20,000 crore FPO, especially by the higher net worth individuals and anchor investors. And now Supreme Court ने पहले भी कहा था that what is the framework available to protect the retail investors from the share value meltdown. Okay, so यहाँ पे now Supreme Court is going to set up a panel, okay, an expert committee to examine the existing regulatory regime and framework in the security markets. So here जो Union Government and Security Board of India है, they have said that they have no objection, okay, but Center and SEBI, they have argued that they should be allowed to suggest to the court the committee's mandate and the names of its members in a sealed cover in order to protect the market from any upsets. तो यहाँ पे सेबी और गवर्नमेंट कुछ पैनल्स में जो मेंबर्स होने चाहिए उनका नेम रिकमेंड करना चाहती है. दिस इज द न्यूज. द नेक्स्ट इज steals the show at Women's Premier League auction. तो यहाँ पे जो इंडियन ओपनर है वुमेन्स क्रिकेट टीम ऑफ इंडिया स्मृति मंधाना, so she has attracted the highest bid, that is rupees 3.40 crore, and she will be the part of Royal Challengers Bangalore team. Okay. The next is retail inflation rise to 6.52% in January. So here retail inflation, whenever हम लोग inflation की बात करते हैं, कुछ दिन पहले अभी हमने मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी का भी डिसीजन पढ़ा था, the repo rate was increased. Okay, so here you will see retail inflation, it rises to 6.52%. Now this number 6.52% is very important. Why? Because it is above the tolerance limit of RBI. Okay, so the tolerance limit of RBI is 2% to 6%, but since the retail inflation is 6.52%, तो ये RBI के टॉलरेंस लिमिट से बहुत थोड़ा ऊपर है. तो यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे तो जो रिटेल प्राइस इन्फ्लेशन है फॉर जनवरी, इट हैज ब्रोकन द 2 month स्ट्रीक बिलो द 6% मार्क. मतलब दिसंबर और नवंबर में जो CPI था इट वाज बिलो 6%, बट नाउ अगेन इट हैज रीच टू 6.52%. ओके, इफ यू विल सी द रूरल इन्फ्लेशन, so it is higher than the urban inflation. Okay, so in January it is 6.85%, while urban consumer face retail price rise of 6% in January compared to 5.4%. तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि रूरल इन्फ्लेशन और अर्बन इन्फ्लेशन दोनों बढ़ा हुआ है, but the rate is higher for rural inflation. Fine. Now coming to consumer price index, which body releases consumer price index? Okay, so the name of the body is National Statistics Office. National Statistics Office, that is called as NSO. Now there is one bill, that is the Draft Geo Heritage Sites and Geo Relics Preservation and Maintenance Bill 2002 to protect and preserve the Geo Heritage Sites. Okay, so what are these Geo Heritage Sites? So यहाँ पे देखिए definition दिया हुआ है, that is sites containing geo relics, old rocks, okay, or rocks or rock structures which are important to understand the evolution of the earth. Okay, then stratigraphic type sections, geological structures, geomorphic landforms of national and international interest, हम उनको क्या कहते हैं? We call it as geo heritage sites. तो इंडिया में जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया एक बॉडी है हेडक्वार्टर्ड इन कोलकाता, which comes under the Union Ministry of Mines. It has declared 32 geo heritage sites or national geological monuments for protection and maintenance. Now this is the bill which is called as the Draft Geo Heritage Site and Geo Relics Preservation and Maintenance Bill 2022. तो इसके जो important provisions हैं, that is it gives power to Geological Survey of India to declare any site as geo heritage sites. Then it prohibits construction around 100 meters around such a site, कि 100 meters के radius में कोई construction नहीं हो सकता, otherwise there will be fine of rupees 5 lakh and imprisonment. Then there should be no vandalism, defacement and violations of directives of a site by the Director General of GSI. So here अगर आप देखोगे तो India, it is a signatory of UNESCO Convention on Protection of World Cultural and Natural Heritage. That's why India is required to have a law on the same, including geo heritage. That's why the government has come with the bill. It is called as Geo Heritage Site and Geo Relics Preservation and Maintenance Bill 2022. Fine. But here what the experts are saying कि सारा power जो है वो Geological Survey of India को चला गया है. Okay, there should be a panel of experts. Okay, some power should be given to them also. Now coming to Jal Jeevan Mission, not a pipe dream. This is very important. Jal Jeevan Mission. तो यहाँ पे देखेंगे जो जल जीवन मिशन है इसका एम क्या है? टू प्रोवाइड एवरी रूरल हाउस होल्ड फंक्शनल टैप वाटर कनेक्शन बाय 2024. ठीक है, ये एम है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति. सो you can write me in the comment box the name of the Union Minister of Jal Shakti. Then in present budget, okay, there has been a 27 increase in allocation from rupees 54,808 crore to rupees 69,684 crore. So what is the aim? The aim is every rural household should have functional tap water connection by 2024. Functional tap water connection मतलब every household getting at least 55 liters of potable water per capita per day. ठीक है, that is the meaning. बट अगर हम इसका कवरेज का बात करें अगर, ओके, सो इफ यू विल सी द टारगेट इज 19.3 करोड़ रूरल हाउस होल्ड शुड बी कवर्ड, बट इन 2019 ओनली 3.2 करोड़ हाउस होल्ड हैव बीन कवर्ड. उसके बाद इफ यू विल सी कि द टारगेट इज 19.3 करोड़ रूरल हाउस होल्ड, सो एज ऑफ नाउ there are 11 crore rural households or 57% of the target has been achieved. तो अभी तक 2023 तक कितना टारगेट अचीव हुआ है? 57%. Then the next 43% we have to achieve this target just within 2 years. Then if you will see, there are certain states they have reported 100% functional tap water connection to every rural households. These states are Goa, Gujarat, Haryana and Telangana. Fine. Then Punjab and Himachal Pradesh, they are nearing 100%. Then if you will see that Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, they have reported 30% coverage and Madhya Pradesh only around 47%. उसके बाद अगर आप देखेंगे कि लोकल रिपोर्ट्स इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट सजेस्ट कर रही हैं. दैट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज दैट डिस्पाइट हैविंग द टैप वाटर कनेक्शंस, पीपल they are using local groundwater resources because the quality of tap water supplied is inadequate. This is also one of the problem highlighted in the local surveys. Then we will see that 75% of the households they are receiving 7 days a week water, okay, but on an average households are getting water for only 3 hours a day. Got it? So 75% ऐसे हैं जिनको सातों दिन पानी मिल रहा है but only for 3 hours. Then the next problem is of quality. If you will see that 90% of institutions such as Anganwadis and schools, they have reported access to tap water, but several of them have reported high level of chlorine as well as problems with bacterial contamination. Okay. Then there are certain states of states like Bihar which says that most of their connections were provided under state funds and not under Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay. Now यहाँ पे एक फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. दैट विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल HDG एम्स फॉर वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन फॉर ऑल. वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन फॉर ऑल. सो प्लीज राइट मी इन द कमेंट बॉक्स द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल विच एम्स फॉर वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन फॉर ऑल. द नेक्स्ट इज हाउस रूल्स एंड द वेपन ऑफ एक्सपेंशन. ठीक है, तो अगर हम देखेंगे तो आर्टिकल 105 है. This is very important article in the Constitution of India because it gives freedom of speech to the members of parliament so that they can do their duty. जैसे कि if you will see that Council of Ministers, they are collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. ठीक है, and overall to the parliament because we have the representative form of government, okay, a responsible form of government. Then the council of ministers they are responsible to Lok Sabha. इसका मतलब होता है कि Lok Sabha members who are the representative of the people, they should have the power to question the government. Okay, so article 105 जो है वो एक बहुत ही important role play करता है for upholding the democracy in India. Okay, so this article 105 of the constitution, it confers on members freedom of speech in the house and immunity from interference by the court for anything said in the house. This is article 105. ठीक है, ताकि members जो हैं वो अपना function without fear and favor complete कर सके. Okay, so it is very important privilege of the member of parliament, but they are subject to certain rules. That rules are Rule 380 of Rules of Procedure of Lok Sabha and Rules 261 of the Rules of Rajya Sabha. These both rules they give power to Speaker or Chairman in Rajya Sabha to expunge or to remove any words used in debate which are defamatory, unparliamentary, undignified or indecent. ठीक है, अगर मेंबर ने कुछ ऐसा बोला है which is defamatory, unparliamentary, undignified or indecent, then speaker has the power to expunge that word or that part of the phrase. Okay, अगर एक बार कोई भी चीज एक्सपंज हो जाती है पार्लियामेंट में तो वो पार्लियामेंट के रिकॉर्ड में नहीं होगा एंड इट कैनॉट बी पब्लिश्ड बाय मीडिया हाउसेस. इफ मीडिया हाउसेस दे पब्लिश, it means they are committing the breach of privilege of the house. Got it? Then if you will see that MPs they also have the power to make an allegation against a fellow MP or an outsider but there is rule 353 of the Lok Sabha which regulates the procedure in that regard. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि किसी भी MP को अगर किसी भी मिनिस्टर के अगेंस्ट या फेलो MP के अगेंस्ट अगर कोई एलिगेशन लगाना है then they have to give the advance notice to the speaker and the minister concerned. ठीक है, ओके। तो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो रूल इट डज नॉट प्रोहिबिट मेकिंग एनी एलिगेशन बट देयर इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ एडवांस नोटिस टू स्पीकर एंड द मिनिस्टर कंसर्न so that minister gets that time to prepare for answering or replying to that allegation. Okay, now see, यहाँ पे author is saying कि ये जो rule है it does not obviously apply to an allegation against a minister in the government, because just like I said, जो council of ministers है they are accountable to parliament, especially they are responsible to the lower house, that is the house of the people, that is Lok Sabha. So members of the house they have the right to question ministers and make imputations against their conduct as minister. So that is the part of their duty to ensure the accountability of the government, which is also given by Article 105. But there have been certain incidents or decisions of the speaker when the allegations were made against the minister. So there are two occasions which have been provided. One related to Prakash Vir Shastri, who made personal allegations against Humayun Kabir, who was then the minister of for education. Okay, so यहाँ पे जो उस वक्त के जो स्पीकर थे सरदार हुकम सिंह, उन्होंने कहा कि that anything which is reported in the newspaper does not give the right to the member to raise the allegation. The member should ensure that the allegations which the member is making against the minister it should be probed. So जो second incident है it related with railway minister केदार पांडे. ओके, इन 1981 यहाँ पे भी स्पीकर जो उस वक्त के थे डेप्यूटी स्पीकर जी लक्ष्मणन, ही आल्सो सेड दैट आफ्टर मेकिंग दैट द एलिगेशन शुड बी मेड आफ्टर मेकिंग इंक्वायरीज. द नेक्स्ट इज that however a careful reading of the rules of the house would reveal that the acts of expunction can be wielded only when the allegations mentioned are of defamatory or incriminatory character. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे the author is saying कि ये जो power है expunction का it should be used okay when the speech is of defamatory nature or incriminatory character. But he is saying that under section 499 of the Indian Penal Code, any such statement respecting the conduct of public servant in discharge of his public function or his character is not defamation. He is saying कि अगर हम section 499 पढ़ते हैं IPC का, तो किसी भी public servant को criticize करना related to his public function or public character is not defamation, and if such a statement is made in the house against a minister who is a public servant, it does not come within the mischief of rule 353 or rule 380. ठीक है, so that's why it is saying that it is thus clear that before the weapon of expansion is wielded, it needs to be ascertained whether the speech contains defamatory or incriminatory statements or only critical comments. Okay, so it also needs to be ensured that the freedom of speech enjoyed by the members in the house is not necessarily curtailed. So these are some of the explanation provided by the author related to the power of the speaker to expunge certain proportion of the speech made by the parliament. Okay, now over here one thing has been mentioned, that is called as motion of thanks. Now what is this motion of thanks? मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स, तो देखिए आर्टिकल 87 है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का. यह प्रेसिडेंट स्पीच जो होता है इन द पार्लियामेंट एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द सेशन ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ द लोकसभा एंड आफ्टर एंड द फर्स्ट सेशन ऑफ द ईयर, तो जो प्रेसिडेंट स्पीच होता है ओके, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मोशन ऑफ, वो स्पीच होने के बाद उस पर डिस्कशन होती है ओके, विच इज कॉल्ड एज मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स. And motion of thanks has to be passed in both the houses. If it is not passed or if it is defeated, then it means that the house does not have confidence in the council of ministers. The next is Justice Bindal and Kumar take oath as Supreme Court judges, fill the last two vacancies. What is this last two vacancies? So see, the sanctioned strength of Supreme Court is 34. Total number of judges including Chief Justice of India should be 34. So after the appointment of Justice Rajesh Bindal and Justice Arvind Kumar, the total number of judges in the Supreme Court is 34. So currently the Supreme Court is functioning at its full strength. Okay, सो यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे जो जस्टिस राजेश बिंदल हैं, ही वॉज अर्लियर द इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट चीफ जस्टिस, एंड जस्टिस अरविंद कुमार, ओके, ही वॉज द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ गुजरात हाई कोर्ट, ओके। कल हमने कहा था द न्यू पर्सन हु हैज बीन अपॉइंटेड एज द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ गुजरात हाई कोर्ट, द सेकंड वुमेन to be the Chief Justice of High Court after Justice Sabina, who is the acting Chief Justice of Himachal High Court. So please name in the comment box the new Chief Justice of Gujarat High Court, who is going to be the second woman to be the Chief Justice of any High Court in India. Now from world we have very important one-liner which is very important. It is Saudi Arabia is going to send its first ever woman astronaut on a space mission. Okay. So Rayana Bhavani, she will join Saudi male astronaut Ali Al Karani on a mission to the International Space Station during the second quarter of 2023. So the astronauts, they will join the crew of AX-2 space mission, and the space flight will launch from the USA. Okay. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.